I won't lie to you, this is going to be tough. It's part of being a parent. But if you follow these tips that I'm going to give you, not only are you going to make it through the night, you're going to make it through the next night too, and the night after that. Because as a parent, we love our kids so much. That's what we do. When we have nothing else to give, we just keep giving and giving some more. So watch to the end, and I'm going to teach you how to make it through the night with your newborn. The first thing that you're going to do is get help. Like, get help if you can. And if you can't, this video is for you. And if you can, this video is still for you. But one of the things, as somebody who's quote unquote a boss chick, that I had to kind of just let go was this concept that I was going to be able to simply just like do it by myself. And very soon I realized that that was just not going to be possible. For me, me and my boyfriend were in a very unique situation where he's a survivor of epilepsy. So, for the safety of our child, we essentially decided that his physical involvement early on was going to look different, right? In addition to that, one of his triggers is sleep. So, with newborns, what do? You lose sleep. So, we essentially came together as a couple and decided that I was going to do the night shift by myself, so that way we can try to stretch and not cause and trigger another seizure, right? And so that's a unique situation. It's not a situation that everybody has, right? But some people find themselves being single parents. um, Others just find themselves, maybe your partner went on a trip, right, for the weekend or whatever, and this is your first time being alone. Regardless, at some point in parenthood, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're by yourself and you need to make it through the night. Now, within that situation, if you can phone a friend or phone a relative or somebody, even calling somebody on Zoom, and you place the baby in the rocker and go use the bathroom, and they watch the baby, on FaceTime or and they're able to get help if you can get help. Um, and let your pride go. Because at the end of the day, you want what's best for your kid, and what is best for your kid is to have as many people around them that loves them and that wants their best interest. If you're in the position where you can get somebody to come physically help, right, then I would say then the thing that they could help out with the most is the night shift, right? Even if you had a 2-hour nap in the night, hell, 30 minutes at one point would have been a lifesaver for me, right? Just to go regroup. And maybe the baby is still crying their heads off, and like this is the most difficult thing to do, is hear your baby cry and then go do something else. But like, you need to sleep. You can't make good decisions if you're functioning on empty. So if somebody comes over 30 minutes and just holds the baby while you go in the other room and take a nap, if you have access to that, then do it. Sorry for watching this video, though. You don't have help and you're coming to me for help. So I'm happy here to help. Let's keep going. If you are breastfeeding, right? So the major key of you making it through the night shift is actually what you do in the daytime. You have to eat, and you need to eat some more. And then you need to eat and eat some meat and eat some more. And so I guess, when you're coming out of pregnancy, that's like the last thing that you want to do is eat and eat and eat some more, because self-consciously you're not trying to be the weight of being pregnant. But let's just let that go, right? I'd say realistically, if you're trying to quote unquote snap back, give yourself a year, and that's more of a realistic goal, even from a place of somebody who's like used to work out 24/7. Me, I'm 2.5 months removed at this point of this video, and I'm not all the way back. So just let it go. You need to do what's best for your baby, and what's best for your baby is for you to have as much energy as possible. And because you are breastfeeding, that means that you don't have a lot of energy because it's being depleted, right, out of you at a high rate. So you have to replace that. So eat some more, and eat a bunch of protein, high energy fuel meals, snacks, etc. throughout the day. And that's going to set you up for success at night. Even at nighttime, you still got to eat, because you're going to be up, and especially if you're going to be breastfeeding, eat. Even if you are feeding the baby a bottle, if you're one of the bottle parents, right, eat. You need energy. freaking eat. If I'm going to give you the advice of eating, then I'm going to give you the advice of drinking a bunch of water. You can never drink too much water. I mean, this is not really a thing. So what I say is that a typical me, non-pregnant, non-breastfeeding me was doing 4 water bottles a day. If I was doing 4 a day, then breastfeeding pregnant me, whatever the situation, in this case, breastfeeding, right? You need to do 8 water bottles a day if you're breastfeeding. Even if you're a bottle parent, right? If you're a bottle feeding the baby with a bottle, I guarantee if you hit 8 bottles a day, you're gonna feel way different than if you were, let's say, drinking 2 water bottles a day. So drink plenty of water, and every time, if you are a breastfeeding parent, my rule was every time I feed, I drink a bottle of water. Now, as goes life, when it comes to just in general, being organized is going to be your champion. But when it comes to being a mom, being organized is literally your superpower, right? And by organized, I don't mean the house is all cleaned up and that's probably not happening. What can happen though is to know where everything's at. Put everything that you're going to use in a spot, especially for the night shift. The last thing that you want to be doing in the night shift is looking around for stuff. When a baby is crying, you don't want to just be looking around for stuff and just all just wild and reckless. Like, you don't want that problem. When you can just have everything organized, have all your bottles in a spot, have your pump in a spot, have your water bottles in a spot. And I say literally within hands reach of where your nucleus is going to be. If your nucleus is going to be, let's say, like a nursing chair, right? Have everything in hands reach to where if you have the baby on you, you can get to it in one hand. Because it could get wild in the night shift, especially if the baby's having tummy issues, gas issues, or just not sleeping and whining. You're trying to figure it out. They're crying. You want to be able to get to it fast. What I did is I had 2 different stations because we ended up sleeping on the couch, and I talked about that in another video about how to relieve gas in a baby. So make sure you check that out. We ended up sleeping on the couch, so I had a station with all my stuff by the couch. I had another station with all my stuff by my rocking chair, and I was ready to go. I had water bottles, I had snacks, I had my baby's toys, I had burp cloths, everything, hands reach, set it up. And if you get 15 minutes throughout the day, that's what I would be doing, is just making sure my night stations are ready to go. Okay, now I'm gonna give you a major freaking key. Now, oftentimes we hear about sound machines, and sound machines are great, but just as much as you can spend money on a sound machine, you can have a TV on and go on YouTube and have the white noise play on YouTube. So I will put a link in the description below to a sound machine that you can get for you and your child, and you can play that and figure out what noise that the kid likes, and it helps them, do a steady sleep. It doesn't always get the job did, but it does help by having that in the background. But a major freaking key, right, is to use this product. And this product is called a baby shusher, right? And you're going to shush the baby, and it's amazing. It's like this little thing. It looks like, almost like a hot air balloon or whatever. And you could turn that puppy on, and as you're comforting your baby, you put the shusher on. It's going to help them get back to sleep and quiet down. I use it all the time. I guess downside to it is that the maximum amount of time it runs for is 30 minutes. So if you wanted to go on all night, you would be turning on every 30 minutes. So I wouldn't use it as the white noise. I would just use it as a tool you can get to comfort your baby. All right, if you're dealing with a newborn, we're talking about fresh out the womb, newborn. One of the best things you could have that'll help you make it through the night is having a swaddle, right? And so if you know how to swaddle and you do it really good, great. I never got great at doing the manual swaddle. But if you can, there's several different swaddle type systems that you can do that is already ready made. There's the full swaddle where you put it in the little sack and strap it on, and they do the little arms like bow, right? Takes like 2 seconds to put on. And if your baby's one of those babies who likes that version of the swaddle, then that's going to work for you to calm them, like all of that stuff, right? So get you one of those. Put that in the link in the description below, right? The other type of swaddle is the one that ended up working for my daughter because she likes her hands to be free. I mean, I put that swaddle on, and she was busting through it, as just busting it out as a newborn, right? So that didn't work for her, but this swaddle that had the hands free and still had this kind of like, self-soothe situation on, it worked very well. So I'll put that in the link in the description below. Or you can just do sleep sack, which is more of kind of like a blanket, right? If they're at the age where they're about to roll over, you don't want to be swaddling them because they need to be able to use their arms to push themselves back back and forth, right? So their arms need to be free. So I would just suggest a sleep sack. And these are major keys because if your baby's, not comfortable while they're laying down there in the bassinet or the crib, this could help aid. Now, it may not solve the problem. I'm here to tell you that. It may or may not solve the problem. It didn't for me, especially early on. We're in the process of sleep training now, but beside the point, right? But it can help aid and it might solve the problem. Everybody's baby is different, right? But you want to have as many tools on deck as possible to help you make it through this night. Other thing you need is you need to have stuff on deck, products on deck that help you if a situation pop up. Let's say your baby get a fever, you need to have Tylenol on deck, right? That'll be in the description below. If your baby has a gassy stomach, I did a whole video about how to relieve gas in a baby. Make sure you check that out on the channel. But two products you can check out immediately is Mylicon and gripe water, right? That could help relieve some of that with the baby immediately. You want to have those on deck so you don't want to have to like rush and go to the store in the middle of the night because the store may or may not be open. So order those right now. Link in the description below. That's going to help you. Then you need to have a travel pillow. And you're like, what? A travel pillow? I'm not going anywhere though. Yeah, I know. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. When it's time for you to finally go to sleep with the baby, right? You might be in the most uncomfortable position possible. You might be sitting upright. Like for me, right? My baby started having these gas episodes. I wasn't able to figure it out. And the only way she would sleep was literally on top of me. So I was on the couch and I had like this whole little barricade system. I had a pillow behind me, right, on my back to make sure I had, a little support, right? I had a pillow underneath my arm because I can't hold the baby like this all night long. Like you can't, it's physically impossible. So I had something underneath my arm to support the arm so my arm could really just kind of lay. Then I put a travel pillow on one side, the opposite side the baby's out. I'm gonna put a little B-roll in here so you can see how wild it looks, right? But it worked. All right, so I would sleep like this, she'd be sleeping like this, and that's how we made it through the night. You are going to make it through the night by any means possible that is safe for your baby. So if that means you are going to sleep in the most uncomfortable position possible, so your baby get some sleep, and this is temporarily, right? These are not long-term fixes. That might be what you're doing for a night or a week or whatever until you can figure out an actual permanent situation to help your kid. So have the travel pillow on deck, and it just helps because you can just knock out any direction that you need to knock out so you can get some sleep. This whole saying sleep when a baby sleeps is the most annoying statement possible. Like literally. And I know you feel the same way too. Like, how am I supposed to sleep when the baby sleeps? When the baby sleeps like god awful, or the baby will sleep for 10, 15 minutes, and by the time the baby is asleep for 15 minutes, the baby's waking back up, and I didn't even get no sleep. So how am I supposed to sleep like that? Exactly. I'm here with you. It could be dang near impossible, but if the baby is actually getting some sleep, like some real sleep, sleep when the baby sleeps. And what I mean by that is what we talked about in the last segment. Even if that means you're in more like an uncomfortable sleep, when you're tired, you're just going to knock out at some point. It used to be 3 o'clock in the morning because she was having such a gas episode. Like that's how long it took her to tire out. And it was like, you just be ready to pass out. And so I had to have everything on deck so I could just go to sleep. Now, another major key is really just pay attention to the cues, right? And so you need to be able to decipher, is my baby tired, right? Or are they overtired? Now, tired is like it's the things leading up. You want to try to put the baby to sleep while they're tired, because when they get overtired, it's a problem. All hell breaks loose. Tired looks like yawning, right, or rubbing the eyes or whatever. That's tired. That's tired. That's a good time to try to put the baby to sleep. Whether you're gonna rock them to sleep, you're gonna be in the rocker and rock them like that, whatever position. My baby literally won't let me carry her like this because I have booby. And so as soon as she gets in this position, she just open her mouth like, I'll be like, geez, girl, am I not more than a booby? And the answer is no at this stage. No, you're not more than the booby. But if you, let's say you were a non-breastfeeding parent, right, or contributor, right? So figure out what is the position that the baby's comfortable with sleeping with you or on you, right? Definitely need to know that, even if you are going to try to get them to separate sleep in a bassinet or what you call, or a crib. Um, so you can pay attention to those cues. Overtired, they're falling out. They're fussy. You can see they start getting irritated or everything. That means you missed the cue, boo. You missed the cue. That is on you, not the baby. That is on you. You missed the cue. Then there's the cue of like what's actually going on, what's wrong. Are they having a gas thing? Like, do they need to burp? There's literally I'll make another video about the sounds that babies make, right? To listen to those sounds, to see what they're doing, right? To see what it means. Like, there's certain sounds that mean hunger, they need to eat. There's certain sounds that mean like something stuck in the throat, like, okay, like, is that what's going on? um like, there's just several different things that be happening. Gas episode, look, they start crunching, right? They start crunching, and they're kicking their knees and they're crunching and they're in pain. So pay attention to that, because then you can be like, okay, boom, that's what's going on. Let me get the Milacon, let me get the gripe water. So pay attention to these cues, and then you can't function off of exhaustion. Like, you just, and I'm not talking about tired. Like, as a mom, I could push through. Like, tired, I'm pushing through. Like, I feel like I'm finna pass out. I need to phone a friend, bruh. Like I said at the beginning of the video, let go of this pride. Phone a friend. Get a support group on Facebook. If you, maybe you're in a new city and you have no friends and family, like, let's comment in the comments below, right? And you can comment and be like, hey, I'm looking for a mom friend. I'm in this state or something like that, right? Maybe we get on here and we link up. That's why I really started this channel, is really because I wanted to create a community. I was blessed to have a mom who just like really just was amazing, and I wouldn't have made it through the first 2 months without my mom coming over and like literally just like helping. And like I said, I had a very unique situation, so everybody's situation isn't like that. If you're blessed to have a partner who can tag team with you, bruh, tag team the mess out of that for sure. Don't even hold back. Tag team the night shift. And if you could make it through that period of time and then get to the point where the baby's old enough to start doing sleep training of some sort, or they just naturally on their own just start sleeping more, it just happens. It just happens at a certain period of time, then do that. Also, to be adaptable. Like I said, the baby just might not be a bassinet baby at first. Like, some babies are just blessed. They separate sleep just off rip. Great. Maybe that's not your baby though. So be open to, do I need to sleep with let the baby sleep on me, like in a safe way, in a safe manner. Be open, be adaptable. And if you do that, right, then you're going to make it through the night, and you'll make it through the next night and the next night. Now, we could have went over all these different rocking methods and stuff like that. If you want one of those videos, then please let me know in the comments below. Different rocking methods, different way to just calm and soothe the baby. I would gladly do a separate video. But for now, hit the like button, sub button, bell button. You gotta go.